Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Amanda and I like to share videos of us starting our homestead from scratch. If you're not new here, welcome back. Today we're going to start a series called Canning 101. And I've been wanting to do this series for quite some time. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it or not just because there are so many videos out there. There is a lot of education on YouTube about it. But I kind of wanted to try and make this more all in one, not one video, but all in one spot. I'm going to make a playlist on my channel that you guys can refer back to. Feel free to save these videos in the future. And what I really wanted to do was just start at the very beginning of canning and what it's all about and take it very slow and explain everything to you guys as if you had no idea what a canner was or how it was used. I want to start and try and give you guys the confidence to actually give it a shot. If it's something you're interested in, obviously if it is, you're seeing this video, so I'm really glad to have you here. We are going to go through the canners today, the different types of canners, what they're used for, some of the basic tools, and that's it. We're just going to simply go over the canners and how and why we use them, their features, and some of the tools to help us make sure that we're canning safely and properly. There's a lot of people that do rebel canning, and that's completely just water bath canning. They never, excuse me, they never pressure can, and that's something you can research, and that's totally up to you. Please bear with me today. I just had a coughing fit. Still trying to get over this cold. I am feeling a little bit better. You can kind of maybe still hear it in my sinuses. My chest is feeling better, so that's good. I kind of just wanted this to be like, you came over to my house. I want to show you what canning's all about. You're my buddy, and you want to learn canning. So that's what we're going to do. So go ahead and make yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, grab a water, whatever you want, and we're just going to sit down and go through this real quick. I hope to keep it short and sweet and just give you little bite-sized information pieces so you're not too terribly overwhelmed. So without further ado, let's get into it. I hope you guys are able to hear me okay. I don't have a little microphone, but I wanted you guys to be far enough back that you could see the things that I'm pointing at. But I did invest in a little mic, so hopefully my video sound quality will be going up in the next few videos. We'll see. I don't know how fast it's going to get here, but we're just going to take a look at these canners. I've got 3 different ones here. This one is a water bath canner. It's water, no pressure. This is what I started with, and this is what a lot of people start with. And it's the most comfortable and least scary if you want to go that route. And then the next is pressure canning, and I'm so grateful that I just jumped in and started doing it. I went through all the YouTube videos I could find. I read all the blog posts. I did everything I could to educate myself, and then I finally just bit the bullet and I went right away with the All-American. This is an All-American 921 canner. The things I talk about today I'm going to link in my description. I just want to be completely transparent. They are affiliate links because I had quite a few people tell me, hey, will you please make links that if I purchase things, it could help benefit you. And I'm like, sure, I can try that. So I went on Amazon and I figured out how to do it. So they are affiliate links, no pressure to buy. I know how the economy is. I understand money's tight. I just wanted to be able to share the resources with you guys. And so they would give me, I guess, a commission. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I just wanted to be totally upfront with you guys. But I will link all of these things that I talk about so that you kind of know what you're looking for, and it's right there in the list below. So first we're going to start off with water bath canning. The things that you can do in a water bath canner are higher acid foods like jellies, jams, tomatoes, things that have higher acidity. And I'm going to point out real quick, this is the Ball Blue Book canning. It's the smaller version of the book. There is a larger one that has a lot more recipes. I want that one really bad because it'd be cool to just have some ideas. This thing is jam-packed full of knowledge. I mean, it doesn't give you just recipes. It actually breaks it down and gives you the whys on things. I'll see if I can find a page here and read a little bit to you. So for instance, here is the beginning of the tomatoes, page, and it just goes through and it tells you all about getting started, the things that you would need, why you're going to be water bathing it, and it gives you some things you can add, like citric acid or bottled lemon juice that helps boost the acidity, because when you are going to be canning, you want things to be higher in acid when you're water bath canning. The reason being is because it will kill any kind of junk that's in excuse me, that's in your food, with that acid content being high enough. Whereas if you have a lower acid thing like a meat or vegetable like green beans, that's going to be a pressure canning deal. That's going to get so much pressure built up in here, which isn't a lot. I mean, these things can go up to 15 safely, and that's 15 pounds of pressure to raise the heat and really cook throughout your product that's in there to kill any bacterias. Botulism is always something that people are afraid of. So this is what you can use for peace of mind to prevent that. Following the proper canning procedures, we'll go through all of that to the best of my ability in future videos. But for now, I just kind of wanted to show you what things look like, what kind of different things you can can in them, just to give you an idea where you wanted to start. So for a water bath canner, it's just got a basic lid. And inside of it, it normally comes with a rack that you can, it's got handles and you can lift it up and hook it on the sides, and it holds your jars on top. Now, I don't have that because over time mine rusted out and I really didn't like that. But basically when you can something, you need a barrier between the bottom of your pot and the jars that you put in there. If you decide to put your jars straight on the bottom of your pot, it's gonna shatter and you're going to lose all that work. So you really want to make sure you have a space at the bottom, and that's why you have racks that come with these things. Now for me, I just do one of my racks out of my pressure canner, and it looks like this, and it works in here, but I also put it in here. So once this one rusted out, I didn't bother buying another one. I was just able to use this one. Also, another fun fact, if you have a pressure canner, now this is if you are like wanting to get serious about canning, this could also double as a water bath canner. Now one thing is, this All-American is extremely heavy, and so I wouldn't want to use my pressure canner as a water bath canner as well, because when you fill it all the way up with water, that's going to get super heavy. And I have a glass cooktop over here. And that would not be good. I think it would probably shatter it. So that's one thing to think about if you want to just buy one thing and not have two things. If you've got like a coil stove or a propane, heavy burnered stove, you could get away with getting just a pressure canner and using it as a water bath canner too. So moving on with the water bath canner, once you have your barrier on the bottom, that will keep your jars from cracking. This one can hold, I believe it's 7 quarts and about 9 pints. And I've used this quite a bit. My husband got this for me a few years ago as a present, and it's been through a lot. I've canned so much food for our family through this, so I'm super grateful. So that is a water bath canner used for high acid foods. And then moving on will be our pressure canner. So this one is the All-American that I told you about. And then this one I got courtesy of my cousin. Thank you, Lisa. She just wasn't ready for it yet, and that's totally cool. If you're not ready, that's fine. Lisa, if you're ready for it after these videos, it's all yours. You can have it back. But the pressure canners are for the low acid foods. And this is what I go by all the time. I just, for my own safety, my own peace of mind, I follow the FDA, USDA, whatever, I forgot, the guidelines that you're supposed to go by. Disclaimer, I'm not a professional. I'm just a home canner, and I want to share with you guys. So I'm just using the terminology to the best of my ability and trying to steer you guys in the right direction. Bottom line is, absolutely do your own research, but I'm just hoping this can kind of help and give you some confidence. So moving on, this is the kind that has wing nuts. They're handled wing nuts to go on top. One sec. I got a phone call from my sweet mama. I'm gonna have to call her back. These have a wing nut system and they seal with no gasket. You will either have an All-American that's metal to metal seal and it's got a flanged ridge here. And this just seals metal to metal, and so I end up putting a ring of olive oil around it to keep it from like binding on there too badly. And then it's held on with the wing nuts for pressure. And then once you line up your arrows, Amanda, there we go. And then once you have everything on there, you will use this weight, and it's got 5 pounds, 10 pounds, and 15 pounds on it. I'll show you up close here. Not sure if you can see that very well, but there's the 10-pound spot, the 15-pound spot, and the 5 spot has like a little rust spot over it, but you can see it off the camera a lot better. So you use this weight for your altitude. And what I mean by use it for your altitude is you're gonna do some research. You can Google online, what pressure do I can at for my altitude. I believe this book will tell you too. It has a lot of good stuff in it. I'm filming, this is probably backward for you guys, I'm sorry. I'm filming with the front camera because my back camera is junky. But you can go in here, and canning low acid foods is on 96. I don't think it's in this book, you guys. So I would get the bigger one if you're gonna get a book. But you could Google it, it's definitely on Google. It tells you what pounds of pressure for your elevation. So say your city, elevation, and then you find out your elevation of your city. And then you go to Google and you say, hey Google, what pounds of pressure do I need to pressure can at X amount of elevation? And it will tell you. Oftentimes it's 10. So that weight will go on here, and that will build up the pressure in the canner. This one also has a gauge, so it kind of is a double feature. And I can watch this while this is building pressure to make sure that it's doing the right thing. It doesn't go in the red. This is a really good, or not red, I guess it's black, but the danger zone. So I liked that. That's another reason I purchased this, because I could watch the pressure. You can also go to your local extension office and they can test this for you to make sure that it's accurate. I actually want to go do that with mine now that it's been a couple years. And you can get replacement parts. So for instance, this piece right here that my weight sits on, this vent, it's called a vent. I actually dropped a jar on it and mushroomed the top of it. That was not my brightest moment, but I actually ordered a new one. I replaced it myself and it works fine because I just canned a bunch with it. So that's one thing. And another thing that I really will stress if you're afraid with pressure canning is all of the new canners that they have now have this beautiful feature right here. And you see this rubber gasket? You can see it here too. These are designed so that if it goes over a certain amount of pressure, it will blow this gasket before it will explode the pressure canner. Now you have to absolutely not be paying any attention or letting this get dry rotted and gunked up. And I mean, you really have to try to make it explode if you want to make it explode, or if you think it's going to explode. It's not as easy or common as you think it is. So as long as you're following a few basic safety things, you really won't have these explode on you. So here's the All-American. This I can double stack. I can double stack pints in here. It's the same concept. You always want to have something between the bottom of your jars and the bottom of the pot so they don't explode the bottom of the jars, because as it's boiling and things get jiggling around in there, it will definitely break. You get way too much heat on the bottom of those jars and they'll shatter. So always make sure, always make sure you have something in between those. Now, for this, I can do 7 quarts, I believe, and like 17 pints, because I put my one layer of pints and then another layer of pints. And this goes right on top of the lids, and I'll show you all this as the series goes on. And then Maybe you can see my water line in here. See this kind of ugly colored spot? That's as far as I fill the water in this. I only put about 2 inches or so of water in here, and that's enough to can with. You don't need to fill it like water bath. Do not do that. So this is the All-American. We love her. She's awesome. And we'll move on. I believe this one's a Presto. So this one is a little bit different, as you can see. Maybe you can't see. Let's get this fixed. So I believe this one is a Presto, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there it is on there. This is a Presto. Not exactly sure what the quarts are, but I think I could probably fit about 7 quarts in here. And then I'm not sure how many pints. I've never used this before. This is my cousin's, like I said. So this one is different. It doesn't use the wing nuts. The way that it goes is you line up your handle arrows right here. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then you just twist until they're in alignment, and that's sealed. So this does seal pretty good, I'll give it that. This is different in the fact of it has a gasket. You see this rubber gasket here? That you want to replace at least every year, maybe every 2 years if you don't use it a lot. But it can get really dry rotted just like any other rubber. So that's one thing to be careful of. This is your vent here. Kind of like my vent, I put the weight on, or excuse me, this is my seal. This is my vent that you put the weight on. And again, here is the safety valve, so it won't explode. This has a cute little weight that goes on top, and this also can be adjusted according to poundage. It's got different weights on it. It's kind of hard to see, I think, but see, there's multiple. There we go. There's multiple rings, and this tells you on here. Can I read? No, I can't read. So basically 5, 10, 15 pounds of pressure. And then it will just go right on here, and it'll do a cute little wiggly rocking thing when it's up to pressure, and we'll go through all that when we can. So inside of this one looks very similar to the other one. It's got the spot where it seals the lid. You click the lid into place, and it's got your bottom rack. Remember your rack for always, so you don't lose your product into a bunch of water. That would be very sad. So this is the other kind of canner, and let me tell you, this one is much more budget friendly. If you click the links in the description, you will see the budget difference. So I'm excited to try this one, and the pressure canning videos I'm going to do, I'll start with this one for you guys. So those are our canners. We've got pressure canners, and there was a fly just tried to go in my eye. We have the pressure canners, and we have the water bath canner. Now to move on, I'm going to link a kit in the description that's like the one that I would get if I could again. Well, I still might, but I just kind of make do with what I have, because I don't like to spend money just willy-nilly. We have a gopher down there, I think. So a funnel is an absolute non-negotiable. This thing is the one, if you had to have just one thing for canning, tool-wise, besides the canners, it would be this. This absolutely helps with getting materials into your jar without making a hot mess, whether they're wide mouth or regular mouth, and we'll go through that in the next video. But this helps you make no mess at all. Well, I lied. I can still make a mess, but it helps with the mess. It definitely mitigates the mess. So a funnel, I want to get a stainless steel one. This one's plastic. I haven't had any troubles. It does discolor, looks kind of icky. That's kind of one of the reasons I want metal. Plus, I like to switch a lot of my stuff from plastic to metal anyway. Metal and cast iron are what I'm trying to convert my kitchen into. And the next thing you want to have is a debubbler. This is literally just a skewer for putting shish kebabs on the grill. And this is something that you want to do with everything that you can. So when you put green beans, for instance, in a jar. So for instance, when you put green beans in a jar, You don't want to have air bubbles in there because that can just throw off your water ratios. It can make just a mess. It's just good to not do that. So when you put all of your stuff in there, and I'll show you how to do all of this in the video, but this is basically a debubbler. They have them in the toolkit that I'm listing below. But the one that I had was, it was like a mini spatula, and it was not good. It did not debubble, it just made a mess. And so this ends up working a lot better for me. And you can get a whole pack of them. So I just use this for what I'm doing, throw it away. Use this for what I'm doing, throw it away. And then also in the kit, it has a headspace measurer, and that's another important thing. The headspace on your jar means the top of your product to the top of the jar. That space in between is called your headspace. And we'll go through all that too. But that canning kit I'm going to list in the description. You can take a look at all the stuff that comes with it. It's really neat, and I might get one. But we'll see. I'm just making do with what I got right now. So, and then last but not least, this canning, blue ball canning, the Ball Blue Book of Canning. This one is the smaller one. They have a bigger one that I will find and link to. I am gonna get that one soon. I'm gonna ask for it for Christmas. And this one I actually got at the thrift store, I think, or maybe my mother-in-law. I don't know, but I didn't buy it. I came upon it from someone or something. Maybe I did get it at the thrift store. I'm not sure, but it's been really good. It has tons of recipes and tons of information. Weird that it didn't have the elevation information in it, unless I was just missing it somewhere. But yeah, and in the back it goes through a lot of the stuff. Low acid foods, foods having very little acid and pH above 4.6. To control all risk of botulism, jars of these foods must be heat processed in a pressure canner. Low acid foods include vegetables, some tomatoes, figs, rhubarb, poultry, and seafoods. So, has a lot of good stuff. So there you have it. That's our quick first video of this canning series. I really hope you'll stick with me through the rest of them. I want to break it down even more. If you have questions, please drop them in the comments. If there's anything canning related that you want me to cover, throw them in these comments. It's very, very helpful if you guys let me know what you want me to talk about, and I will do that for you guys. I hope this helped. I hope you guys will be able to start canning some of your foods. Even if you don't grow it, it's awesome to be able to go to the store, even get a few bags of carrots and process them to have on your shelf. It's a really good feeling to have these wonderful foods on your shelf for your family, and it's worth it every single time. I thank you guys for hanging out with me. We'll talk to you later. Bye.